Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name's EJ Marino and the Countess is joining me today. Alright guys, I am so excited for this video. It's a brand new style for my channel, so make sure you let me know what you think in the comments below. So let's get into this video right now. With the upcoming 9th season of American Horror Story named American Horror Story 1984, there is a lot of talk about what the season's going to be, what the episodes will feel like, and where is this season going in comparison to the rest. Well, I'm going to look back at the other seasons in hopes to prep for this season. I'm going to look at the very best episodes from every season of American Horror Story. We're going to be going season by season to find which one reigns supreme as the best creation from each of these iconic seasons. From Murder House to Freak Show, all the way to Apocalypse, we are going to pick one episode from every season. Alright guys, enough of this intro, let's dive into all the spooky goodness. Number 1. Smouldering Children, Murder House. Smouldering Children is a massive turning point for the season as we get the twist with Violet and Tate, where Violet finds out that the fly infestation is due to her actually being dead. Yeah, I remember seeing this episode when it first aired and being shook like I just saw The Sixth Sense for the first time. You also have the added twist that Tate has known he's been dead this entire time. This is the true turning point for Murder House, and really when we knew this show wasn't like any other. This beats out the equally great Piggy Piggy episode for the sheer fact that Evan Peters ups his acting game in this episode. Such great work from the intro scene to the confession near the end, a masterpiece from Peters. Also, Smouldering Children is the first episode where we see the full extent of Constant Landon's evil ways. Jessica Lange is a recurring theme on this list, and this is the first time I remember really seeing the power of her acting. Number 2. Madness Ends, Asylum. Nailing a great finale is hard for any show, but sometimes even harder for American Horror Story. You have to wrap up the entire season, but also that chapter in the American Horror Story universe, as the show rarely goes back to a season to close up the loose ends. Asylum had its work cut out for it, as this is one of the show's most complex seasons with so many different stories happening at one time. Thankfully, Madness Ends puts an end to the madness in a very satisfying way. Just thinking about that final shot with Lana Winters and Sister Jude brings chills down my arms. What an iconic moment. Look, this show even ties up the insane alien storyline with the rest of the show quite well, a task that we didn't think would be possible when they were first introduced. You even get another visit from the Angel of Death, and there's a resolve to both bloody face stories. If only every Horror Story season could be this polished. Number 3. Bitchcraft, Coven. Just like finishing a season, starting a new one is not an easy task. Each time a premiere of American Horror Story happens, the fandom holds their breath as they never know what to expect until the episode ends. Bitchcraft though is one of the quickest sides of relief, as the season lets you know right off the jump it is going to be a wild and Richie roller coaster ride. You quickly know with Bitchcraft that Coven is going to be very different. They're still a horror show, but they're adding a different campier element, and don't think this episode isn't scary though, because there are some violent and insane moments one right after another. The addition of new cast members is another thing that makes Coven and Bitchcraft so great. Angela Bassett, Kathy Bates, Gabrielle Sidibe, and Emma Roberts all add so much to this episode and continue their impacts throughout the show. Number 4. Orphans, Freak Show. For many people, myself included, Freak Show is one of the weaker seasons, but that doesn't mean it lacks any great episodes. Orphans is one of the most well-acted, dramatic episodes of the entire season. Naomi Grossman is a hidden gem on the show, with her appearances as Pepper adding something to every episode she's in. Having an episode focusing on her during all the madness of Freak Show is a bold move, but it pays off as one of the most well-crafted pieces of television. Sometimes the most horrifying things on the show isn't a killer clown or a monster, it's just scary real people. Also, Orphans is the first episode to directly tie two seasons together. Most of the time there would be a loose connection or reference, but the final moments of Pepper being dropped off at Blair Cliff Manor from Asylum and running into Sister Mary is one of the most stunning, jaw-dropping moments ever. Number 5. Checking In, Hotel. Hotel marked a dramatic change for AHS. Gone was the iconic centerpiece Jessica Lange, and now we have so many new actors to the gang. One of them being Lady Gaga, who made this season and the premiere episode Checking In all her own. A lot of people complain this season feels more exploitive than the other, like a cheap 80s Italian slasher, more than something we've seen before. But that's what makes Hotel so great, and checking in has everything you could ever want. There's an amazing soundtrack, graphic violence, some horror homages, that Countess Nosferatu moment, iconic, and a very spooky new location. Yeah, this is everything you could want from American Horror Story, if you ask me. Also, can we talk about Hypodermic Sally and how great Sarah Paulson is in Hotel? There's incredible work from everyone in Hotel, but I think Hypodermic Sally is one of the most underrated characters ever. Number 6, Chapter 4, Roanoke. Roanoke is a challenging season to pick a quote-unquote best episode from because this is such a disjointed season as there's a gaggle of characters and a split story. Though on closer inspection, it's clear that Chapter 4 is the best of the season. Kathy Bates as the Butcher is one of her best roles in the series, and her holding nothing back in this episode as a mad woman in the woods, I cannot ask for anything else. Chapter 4 from Roanoke felt like a return to form for the show as the first few episodes struggled to find their footing. All the backstory with Lady Gaga's witch character in this also helped us feel a little bit more grander in scale compared to the other Roanoke episodes. The ending moments with Cricket and the Butcher might also be the most grotesque moments in American Horror Story history. I don't know how much of this can I show on YouTube, but for fans of shock horror, this is right up your gross alley. Number 7, Neighbors from Hell, Cult. Cult is one of American Horror Story's most polarizing seasons, and for good reason, as it came at an odd time in American politics, and that show reflects that hardcore. Neighbors from Hell, though, is some good old horror fun, with Allie's insanity really kicking into high gear here. Sarah Paulson does a great job with making the paranoia of Allie feel all too real. This episode also starts putting together all the pieces of Cult's strange puzzle, which was needed at this time, because this all felt like a weird fever dream until this episode. A runner-up for the best episode from Cult is the Midwestern Assassin episode, but again, right now, this feels a little all too real. The titular neighbors in this episode steal the show though. Billy Eichner and Leslie Grossman are saints because they add some much needed levity to how insane Cult feels at times. These two are great inclusions on the show and they seem to be sticking around for now. I cannot wait to see Leslie Grossman in 1984. Number 8, Return to Murder House, Apocalypse. The most recent season of American Horror Story felt like the Avengers Endgame of the series. Everything we've known from the start of the series came to a head here, as this ties in every season included. On that note, the best episode from Apocalypse is an homage to another season, when Madison Montgomery and Behold venture back to the murder house to figure out the dark past of Michael Langdon. Oh, and it helps that this is the episode that marked the return of Jessica Lange. After she left the show right before season 5, her work in Return to Murder House makes this one of the best episodes of all time. Something about this episode literally feels like returning to your childhood home. Well, a childhood home filled with ghosts and evil people, but still a home nonetheless. For longtime fans of the show, Return to Murder House felt like such a gift and a sign of appreciation from the creators, directed by Sarah Paulson with some amazing acting from Jessica Lange, Madison Montgomery, Evan Peters, and Thaisa Farmiga as the returns of Tate and Violet. There is so much in this episode to love, and it, like I said, feels like a love letter to everyone involved. So what did you think of that video? What is your favorite episode of American Horror Story? What's your favorite season of American Horror Story? Let me know everything in the comments below. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up because YouTube takes those way too seriously. And make sure you subscribe to my channel because I make videos like this every single week. We are so close to the premiere of American Horror Story 1984. I will be reviewing every episode by episode. I said that word a lot in one time. I am so excited for that. Make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Comment down below and let's talk about American Horror Story all day.